Well, my daddy left home when I was 3. Didn't leave much to Ma and me, just this old guitar and an empty bottle of booze. I don't blame him, 'cause he run in hid, but the meanest thing he ever did was, before he left, he went and made me sue. He must have thought it was quite a joke, and it got lots of laughs from lots of folks. Seemed I had to fight my whole life through. Some gal giggle and I'd get red, some guy would laugh and I'd bust his head. Tell you folks, life ain't easy for a boy named Sue. Well, I grew up quick and I grew up mean. My fists got hard and my wits got keen. Roamed from town to town to hide my shame. But it made me a vow to the moon and stars. I'd search the honky-tonks and bars and kill the man that gave me that awful name. Well, it was Gatlinburg in mid-July. I just hit town and my throat was dry. Thought I'd stop and have myself a brew. Had an old saloon on a street of mud. There at the table, dealing studs, sat that dirty mangy dog that made me Sue. Well, I knew that snake was my own sweet dad from a worn-out picture my mother had. Knew that scar on his cheek and his evil eye. He was big and bent, gray and old, and I looked at him and my blood ran cold, and I said, "My name is Sue. How do you do? Now you gonna die." Yeah, that's what I told him. Then I hit him hard right between the eyes. He went down, but to my surprise, I come up with a knife and it cut off a piece of my ear. So I busted the chair right across his teeth. I crashed through the wall and into the street, a kicking and a gouging the mud and blood and the beer. I tell you, I fought tougher men, but I really can't remember when. He kicked like a mule and he bit like a crocodile. I heard him laugh, then I heard him cuss. He went for his gun, but I pulled mine first. He stood there looking at me, and I saw him smile. He said, "Son, this world is rough, and if a man's gonna make it, he's got to be tough. I knew I wouldn't be there to help you along. So I gave you that name and I said goodbye. I knew you'd have to get tough or die, and it's that name that's helped to make you strong." Yeah. He said, "Now you just fought one hell of a fight. I know you hate me and you got the right to kill me now, and I wouldn't blame you if you do. But you ought to thank me before I die for the gravel in your guts and the spit in your eye, 'cause I'm that son of a bitch that named you Sue." What could I do? What could I do? Got all choked up and I threw down my gun, called him my paw and he called me his son. I come away with a different point of view. And I think about it every now and then, every time I try and every time I win. And if I have a son, I think I'll name him LX or Rhapsody or maybe Drew or any damn thing to Sue. I still hate that name. Is it echoey in here? Something's